this video, we're going to take 3 different guns, a pistol that shoots around 280 FPS, a pistol that shoots around 350 FPS, and a rifle that shoots somewhere close to 400 FPS, and we're going to test out different goggle types, both mesh and plastic and safety glasses. The first gun that we're testing is a 1911 using .25s, and it should be shooting somewhere around 240, 250 FPS. So we just shot 3 shots at those glasses. Those are pre-worn glasses. They did have one ding in them before. All 3 shots hit. We're using an apple as a eyeball analog, basically, and we're seeing if any shrapnel gets through the holes in the mesh, and nothing managed to get through this set. This is an SSP1 high kappa, and it shoots somewhere around 350 FPS. With the .25s, it probably is shooting more like 320. Just 3 shots again. 3 hits. As you can plainly see, these mesh goggles are actually taking quite a bit of damage. Unlike on plastic lensed goggles, you can actually really see where
Cybergun Ak?
Yep. This is a Cybergun Ak. It is a 60th anniversary edition. I have actually had this gun chronoed, and it was shooting at almost exactly 400 with .25s actually, so it shoots probably a little hotter than that with 20s. Again, we're going to shoot 3 shots. Now this is where you could start to see the actual carnage that's going on these mesh goggles. I actually used to be a firm believer in that eye protection was eye protection, and that everything would protect your eyes, but after doing this video, I actually kind of feel a little bit different about some mesh eye protection.
That is probably served its time, and it's time to retire those goggles.
Yeah.
However, they did protect the apple. There's no splinters of BB fragment or anything like that.
Yeah, no, definitely replacing music.
Oh. Okay.
So now we're testing out an identical pair of plastic lensed goggles to the set of mesh lensed goggles. I bought them from the same seller on Amazon, and they came in packs of 3, both the plastic lensed goggles and the mesh lensed goggles.
Okay.
No, it's just glare.
No damage.
Yeah, no,
No damage at all, actually. You can see where one round hit here.
yeah, here too. Yeah, no,
And
those
there.
are usable for next game.
But right there. I would say actually probably closer to 10 feet. 10 feet, which for the 2 pistols doesn't seem like much, but this is the SSP1 again. here.
For sure,
Looks
but that's
a
still
little-
not bad.
Looks a little gnarly, but honestly, that probably would pop out. I think one of them hit up here.
Yeah, one of them hit the plastic. Let me try to get it.
It's still, I mean, it didn't do any damage at all.
Yeah, those are still playing.
Alright, so next, we're going to go ahead and use that beautiful little Kalashnikov.
This is my chomper.
Well, I got that cute little tracer on there.
Good hit there.
Up here in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see it 'cause I ain't the light.
That's a new one. This was the old one. So hit here, here. I can't tell where the third one is. Usable.
Yep, this one's definitely, actually, surprisingly, fared better than the mesh goggles. And that's not because I think that mesh goggles are God's gift to humanity, but, I mean, the mesh goggles literally have almost exactly the same construction. They come from the same company, the same seller on Amazon, and, I mean, the only difference is that one has metal mesh, which, I mean, as you can see, is torn to pieces. I would not allow anybody that I know to use these anymore because the structural integrity has been compromised. And these ones will keep on trucking and seeing another day. You know, actually, that might be. Maybe that's where, I mean, that's a ricochet, for sure.
Yeah, that's from the mesh for sure. Because I turned the apple.
I turned the apple after the mesh, and
Yeah, I turned
There
the
was-
apple after the mesh too. Yeah.
there was no damage. So that one might be like that one time that the round literally went all the way across the basement and then came back. Maybe it came back
and
and,
ricocheted and just hit the apple.
yep, because that was not a hard hit at all.
No, it wasn't hard at all.
So,
Just cut that. Just cut that out.
yeah. This, next,
These are gonna be harder to clear.
yeah, these next safety glasses are Pyramex G9 WMG wire mesh goggles. They are ANSI Z87.1 rated. So,
Link in the description.
yeah, link in the description. Going back to the Colt. Got you!
That hit me in the fucking face.
Well, unfortunately, we have our first casualty of the evening. He missed the shot. There you go. 3 shots, only one of which hit the daggone apple. Let's check and see. As you can see, the goggles did what they were supposed to do, but they have taken a couple hits. This is a brand new pair of goggles out of the bag.
I might still.
Here's the bag that I pulled them out of. So, big hits, and actually considerably a lot of damage. These look a lot more damaged than the other mesh goggles, but that's also, this is a much finer mesh than the other goggles.
That's my prediction.
So you think that the SSP one, which shoots about 350, 360 FPS when I had it chrono last. Now, this has an almost full magazine. Well, actually, at this point, it's not. It's actually about a half of a magazine. And probably 3/4 of a. Ooh, God, don't look at that load job. They're 3/4 of a CO2 cartridge. Yeah, it hit. I watched it bounce. No damage on the apple. Now, an apple is not necessarily a perfect analog for the human eye. However,
Really,
these goggles, I would not use them.
I just wanted to see if the mesh would coat the apple. I don't really care if the deep gets it, because your face curves.
And so far, this pair of goggles has definitely had it.
Yeah, those goggles are absolutely not used for money, but they did take the $8.
That was with the AK. So, let's check. Almost lost the apple. Let's check our apple here. Ooh. Now, something definitely made it
That might
through.
have been a low shot. I don't think
That's not a. Actually, I guess it could be a low shot because.
Oh, I don't know, dude. That's fucking deep. That's pretty deep. Yeah.
Yeah, so it might.
That went through the mesh into the apple.
So
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen.
this is why they say don't wear mesh goggles, kids. Now, if you're playing in an open field with people who don't have amped up rifles, I'm sure you'd probably be okay. But CQB with non-CQB rifles, you might lose your eyeball. Well, I'll tell you what we're not testing: these goggles. So, now, I don't recommend playing with safety glasses because, yeah, if you had to, these are 3M. They are ANSI Z87.1 rated. Alright, so this is a pair of 3M puncture rated safety glasses. Brand new, never used, fresh out of the bag. We don't recommend you playing with just safety glasses. Full seal is definitely better, but not all airsoft fields require full seal, so we're doing non-full seal to show you what you can expect if you get shot in the eyeball with a 25 out of a reasonably powered rifle or pistol.
1911 again.
Okay. Aiming for the right Good shot. Oh. Fix our boy the apple. Oh, he don't want to stand up anymore. He's like, I'm done. Ding, ding. Alright. You can see on the lenses where the impacts were, but no damage. None at all. Yep. And no damage to our boy, Appley McAppleface. SSP1 again. see, again, the marks where it's hit and scuffed the lenses, but there does not appear to be any damage to the lenses, and there's no abnormal feel on the back side where the lens is bulged. Yep. So, your boy, AK-47, back at it. Alright. Got pulled the stock up. His chair. I think you might have hit the hammer. I don't actually know. Oh yeah, you hit that. Oh yeah, you hit that time. The first one must have been just a glancing blow. That one was a full-fledged hit. Call your hits, Apple. Call your freaking hits. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah, you can see. Actually, the lens is wet, so I don't know how that happened, but you can see down here on the bottom where it hit over here on the side, it hit there, and then I think up top here it hit. Up here actually appears to have caused some sort of like plastic delamination, just a very, very small like bubble almost in the plastic. Now, you know, so now we're going to shoot the apple. You guys can see what would happen if your eyeball got hit with these three weapons. First is the Colt 1911. Yep. We'll do that again. You hit the concrete. Sorry, I got hit on the It was high, but you carved a groove straight through the top of it. Okay. So that's the SSP1. SSP1 shot went in right there. It does not appear to have exited. If that was your eyeball, you'd be screwed. Here's the AK. So, here's one shot with the AK. Yep. There's a shot with the AK. Now, it's this top one right here. Now, all three of these airsoft replicas are within the ranges of like 320 to 400 FPS. So there's not a huge difference. Now, when you start getting into the more powerful, like sniper rifles and stuff like that, obviously, on any professional field, but if you're going out playing with your friends, you don't know what they've got. So that's why you never play airsoft without eye